Welcome to Skills to Pay Your Bills. I'm your host, Don Maraney, and the name of my segment is the Wealth Zone University. And as you know from watching us, our mantra is, we're going to change your mind about money so you can change your financial future. Over the last few segments, we've been talking business. And over the last couple of segments, we've been actually talking to women in business. And today, I'm privileged to have two young women in business. And not only are they young in terms of their age and how lovely they are, but also they're young in terms of some of the things that they're doing inside of their businesses, which I think we need to know about. So I'm going to introduce you to our two new guests here. I'm going to introduce you to Kendra Blackett-Dibinga, and the name of Kendra's company is BIKRAM Yoga Riverdale, and it's a new company, and we're going to talk about that in depth. And our second guest, hello Brittney, one of my favorite people, is Brittney Bogues, and she's the CEO of All in PR in Maryland. And PR is public relations, for those of you who didn't get the acronym, okay? So first, let me start with Kendra. Kendra, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good, good.
Thanks.
Hey, would you tell our audience a bit about who Kendra Blackett-Dibinga is and why you decided to go into business?
Well, yeah, great. Thank you for this opportunity. As you said, my name is Kendra, and I've always been a bit of an entrepreneur. My husband also comes from a family of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
My father has had his business since he came to this country as a contractor. So I think it's in my blood. And so I've actually ventured into a number of different businesses until I found one that actually met with my passion, which is the yoga business that I'm actually about to open up. And I took a class about 5 years ago after the birth of my second child, and I just loved it. I had been, going to the gym before, working out. I was even a personal trainer. But when I took that yoga class at BIKRAM Yoga Capitol Hill, I was just like, wow, like this is amazing. I canceled my gym membership. I just started doing the yoga, and then I said, I'm going to teacher training, and I'm going to open up my own yoga studio because I saw the benefit of it. And so I actually turned my family onto it. Everyone in my family now does it, and so we've always been. My husband and I have always been trendsetters in our family. So we've gotten everybody kind of hyped up about it. They're like, you really should open up your studio, and I said that's my plan. And so we've just been going over.
So
that
BIKRAM
way.
is a special kind of yoga, right?
BIKRAM is based on Hatha yoga, and it's a series of 26 postures with 2 breathing exercises, and it's done in a heated room of 105 degrees.
Whoa.
Yes, with 40 to 50% humidity.
I'm getting warm just talking about
Yes,
it.
I mean it's meant to make you hot. Yeah, you get hot, right?
Well, yeah, we have to change the way that conversation's going.
Right.
Let's talk to Brittney. Hey, Brittney, how you doing?
Hi, Don.
Hey, tell us just a bit about who Brittney Bogues is and why you decided to go into business for yourself.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure,
I really
my
appreciate it. Well, I went to Wake Forest University and graduated from there. So I'm a proud Demon Deacon. And after following in my father's footsteps, he also went to Wake, and he's in the entertainment business. He was a former NBA player. So after graduating, there weren't a lot of opportunities for public relations. It was really hard. You have to do a lot of internships and really get the experience under your belt. So after I did a lot of different internships and freelancing, I decided, well, hey, I've got the perfect client and my dad, and I'm really ready to do this on my own. So I came up with the idea of creating All in PR, and here I am today.
So I'm going to digress just a second because you mentioned that your dad was an entrepreneur who came to this country. So where did he come from, and what kind of contracting did he do?
My father is from Grenada. I was also born in Grenada.
Grenada.
Yeah, small little island in the Caribbean. So he does interior remodeling.
Okay.
Yeah, so
and so you grew up in an entrepreneurial family.
I
then.
did. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Definitely.
And Brittney, you mentioned your dad, so let's give him props too. Who's your dad, and what does he do?
Sure. My dad's Bogues Bogues. He's the shortest person to ever play in the NBA. So he has a lot of heart, and I've definitely learned to, use that to also have a lot of heart in what I do and put all into what I do. So.
And Muggsy Bogues, for we short guys who think we're good basketball players, he changed the dynamic for us.
That's
so,
what I hear.
Yeah,
I hear he's an inspiration.
Absolutely.
So he's definitely been my inspiration.
We moved up from junior varsity to varsity when Muggsy went to the NBA. Fantastic. So let me understand what yoga is, and then make me understand what Bikram yoga is. Would you, Kendra?
Sure.
And stay away from the heated rooms.
Yeah, right. Yoga, I mean, it's a practice, right? It's a practice. It's based in science. It comprises many movements, stretching, lengthening, building muscle tone. So in some classes you'll find yourself doing a number of what we call poses or asanas, and those postures are help. Yeah, asanas is just another word for posture. And with each posture, you're doing something, whether it's working on your alignment, whether you're working on building up your strength, your flexibility. So yoga is really a practice that helps you build your strength and your flexibility, but it also helps you bring more awareness to what it is that you're doing in life, to your own body. It brings awareness to your body, but also brings awareness to what's happening around you. So
I want to take a minute to actually talk about this, because to people like me, yoga is, when I say yoga, I think about meditating. You know.
Right. Yeah.
And that's not what it is, right?
Well, there are different forms of yoga, right? And so the Bikram yoga itself is actually, we call it a moving meditation.
Okay.
And the reason why we call it a moving meditation is because you're constantly in a series of poses. You're never really, there's like 20 seconds that you stand still. And in those series of poses, you are meditating, because if you are trying to look at what the next person is doing, you know, what others are doing in the room, then you're falling out of those postures. So if you're not meditating, then you cannot stay in those postures. And so it's a practice of really stilling your mind so that you can effectively execute.
Okay, so meditation then is a nexus to yoga.
Yeah,
Practice
definitely.
seems to be a requirement of yoga.
Definitely.
And what makes Bikram yoga different from what the other yoga that people may think
Right,
they
it's a
know
more
about?
physically intense type of yoga. It's actually more of a sportive yoga. So you're, it's not sitting there meditating. You're moving. And
so my couch potato isn't going to make it,
not
right?
going to make it.
I've got to get up and move.
Yeah, you're doing cardio, you're doing strength and flexibility in all in one. It's an all-in-one workout in essence.
Oh man, I'm scared of you already. Brittney, you are an expert in social media. Your public relation firm deals with highly visible artists, entertainers, in events and things like that, but you have a special expertise in using all of the new ways of marketing and communicating. Tell us a bit about social media and how a PR firm can help a business become more adept or more ingrained or more useful in social media, please.
So all in PR, it kind of came from my passion for traditional PR, as well as I'm a part of the Gen Y millennials. So because I am, social media and technology is a big portion of like our generation. So what we're doing is we take the knowledge of press and using that in contingent with social media and blogs to really bring the full verse of publicity and exposure for our clients. Because social media is so easy and it's fun, and also it's such a large audience that it really does drive in a lot of revenue for companies, because they can broadcast their messages as well as push people to their website where the real meat and bones of their company is.
So Kendra and Brittney and I were talking about social media before, and Brittney just said it's easy, except to a dinosaur. So that easy is relative, folks, okay?
Well, it's definitely easy in that, it's very interactive, but there is some skill and work involved. There's strategy. You have to know the right times, who you're really talking to, and, different methods to go about it. So, I mean, fun as in it's fun to update it, but it's definitely some strategy behind it.
But it's a mandatory part of marketing
Very
and public
mandatory.
relations now for any business
Oh, yes.
to be in social media.
I believe 95% of corporations now are including a social media team or some kind of budget putting towards it, because it really is the new way of the future.
Now, Kendra is opening a new Bikram yoga studio in Riverdale from ground up. I mean, that's an entrepreneur. I mean, I'm really so proud of her. And she has gone to social media as part of her raising initial capital, which again is so timely. So tell us a bit about crowdfunding and how you've gotten involved with it. Don't tell us how much money you raised. That's a secret. Internal Revenue Service is listening. Just tell us a bit about the process.
Well, you know, I actually went to the Chamber of Commerce, and they were the ones who introduced me to the concept. They said, you know, if you're having trouble finding financing as a startup, which I was, having problems with the traditional bank financing, they said, try crowdfunding. And so they gave me a few of the websites, and some of them are tailored to artists, and like if you want to do a CD, or some of them are, you know, for special kind of events that you can raise money for, even people from, you know, like Hurricane Katrina or Sandy Hook, or even the marathon, the Boston Marathon, they were able to use crowdfunding in a sense to raise this money. So you can, it's a way of getting your idea out there, engaging a different type of audience to help raise resources for your venture. So I was actually able through my crowdfunding website to get a lot of emails just from interested potential investors.
That's fantastic.
And so most of the money I raised was actually off the site, but it was because I had that site available that people saw, okay, this is an actual opportunity for investment.
Wow. And that just goes to solidify and to verify that social media in all of its aspects, and it keeps evolving and changing, becomes very important for new business owners to know about and older business owners to start to adapt. Is that right?
True, yeah.
Yeah. Now, so in terms of BIKRAM Yoga, you're going to be opening your studio when?
Hopefully we'll open in September. We'll probably have everything built out by the end of August. We'll open up in September, and yeah.
And you're going to let us know when the opening
We'll
is.
definitely let
so
you know.
All of you
and
people,
we're already on social media. Join us on Facebook, on Twitter, yeah.
All of you people, I expect you to be there. Do you have to wear sweats or anything when they show up?
Preferably not sweats.
Okay, all right. Ask Kendra what you should wear, but I want you there, okay? I'm going to be home meditating. No, I'm going to be there too. Brittney, what projects are you working on that you want to tell us about? Anything great?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a couple projects, but two that I'm really excited about. AT&T It Can Wait campaign has asked us at All NPR to help plan their event. They're having an LA screening next Thursday at the the Silver Theater, and they're going to be screening their No
AFI
Texting.
Silver Theater in Silver Spring?
No, it's
Okay.
actually going to be in LA.
In LA? Oh,
and they're
go.
screening their No Texting While Driving documentary. And then another project I'm working on is a new skills academy for the Always Believe nonprofit started by my father. And the Skills Academy caters to at-risk youth, and we're providing them with life skills such as how to start a bank account, how to manage your money, as well as physical fitness and health and nutrition.
Right. We're going to take a break right here, ladies. We're going to come right back. Don't touch that dial because we've got lots more interesting things to talk with you about. So be here when we get back. See ya.
Hi, I'm Christian Slade, and I'm the greatest baseball player of the 21st century. I earned so much money last year that I didn't know what to do with it. So I started watching Skills to Pay the Bills to know what to do with my money. Now my money is safe, and I have great interest coming in every day. So take my advice and watch Skills to Pay the Bills on Channel 10.
Welcome back to Skills to Pay Your Bills and a special segment, Wealth Zone University. Of course, I'm your host, Don Maraney, and we're going to continue our conversation with these two vibrant young entrepreneurs that we were having in the first session. In the first session, Kendra, who you met, was telling us about how BIKRAM yoga was different from what I thought yoga was. But she also said something about a hot room. And so I'm going to ask Kendra kind of to expand more on BIKRAM yoga, how it's done, how this hot room becomes part of the process. Because initially I said that I wasn't going, but you know, hot room sounds kind of interesting. So that kind of fill us in, all right?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I mean, the heat is really meant to help facilitate the stretching and the increased flexibility. And for people who have issues of arthritis, of circulation issues, the heat really helps to eliminate some of that, especially if you have stiffness in your knees. And there are a lot of postures that enable you to kind of compress the joint and let the blood flow expand. So there's actually a science behind how the yoga works. So Bikram yoga is actually one of those things. I used to have terrible knee issues. I couldn't wear heels like I'm wearing today, but I can wear heels now. You know, I won't wear them all day, clearly, but I can wear heels now, and that's all because of a Bikram yoga practice.
So help us visualize. So we're not in a room like a gym. We're in a room that's heated.
A heated room.
Okay, so it's a
that-
specialized room.
It's
then.
a specialized room, and I mean, specialized in the sense that it has to hit that right temperature.
Okay, and that temperature is again?
105 with
105.
40 to 50% humidity.
Wow.
And so, you know, with that humidity, you're actually expanding your lung capacity. You're learning how to breathe under, you know, duress in a way, which helps people remain calm. And so, if you can actually focus on your breath in those conditions, it's actually meant to create a little bit of stress on the body. But if you can breathe, then you actually, there's so many benefits there. A lot of people, when they are under stress, they stop breathing, or they get really tight in their shoulders, or, you know, the body starts to tense up. But this yoga enables you to start to relax through your breath.
So is there a process of becoming acclimated to Bikram yoga then?
Definitely.
I just
Yeah,
don't walk in
definitely.
and
Oh,
become
no,
a
definitely. You need
Bikram
to-
expert, right?
No. I mean, my first class was amazing. I fell in love.
Yeah,
and
but then you're
they
special,
want-
you know?
But that, you know, but people
Well, we
sometimes
ordinary
have to,
people.
No, people sometimes have to, it's a journey. It's
Okay.
definitely a journey,
I mean,
you know.
2 weeks, 3 weeks? I mean, how's it?
The
what's
first week you
average?
should go at least 3 times in that
Okay.
week, you know, just so you, and after that week you should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Bikram will help me become stronger, get
Stronger,
rid of some
longer.
of the maladies, longer. I can get taller.
We were just talking about that in
Who
the
knew?
waiting room. You can grow.
I
People
could be
claim that
6'7".
they've grown I don't know, that's
Oh,
maybe a bit
okay.
of an exaggeration. But, you know, yeah, you know, we have definitely seen so many people go through a transformation just by our regular practice. And my goal is really to offer an opportunity for health and wellness in our communities. So.
That's fantastic. Brittney, you have such a grasp on how to take a new business or an old business like ours and bring them into modern day terms of marketing. Tell us about some of the projects that you've worked on, and tell the audience what kind of projects you're looking to work on in terms of public relations, okay?
Sure.
But while you're doing that, is there a difference in between marketing and public relations, and somewhere in that discussion?
Well, that's a really good question, because a lot of people kind of lump them all into one big bubble, which advertising, public relations, and marketing are very similar. So if you were doing like a Venn diagram, they would all be in like similar bubbles, but they are very different. Marketing focuses more on like directly selling a product. PR is more like storytelling, getting your consumer comfortable with your brand and creating brand awareness and loyalty. Whereas advertising is strictly like, you know, this is the product and this is what you need to buy. So what we do is more, we tell the story of our companies that we work with, old or new. We get to know our client, and we customize everything to fit their specific needs. So that's what we pride ourselves on. And we also do everything in-house. So that allows us to, you know, really create that killer project, whether it be a website or social media strategy or a traditional press release. So right now, one of our core projects that we're working on is that Skills Academy that I was telling you about.
Yes.
So the reason why this is such a huge impact, especially for the Charlotte community, is that we're taking 50 kids that are, actually 60 kids that are at risk, and exposing them to different things that they normally wouldn't be exposed to for 6 whole weeks.
Wow.
So they get to learn how to set up a bank account. They get to learn how to use a tablet, because we have a technology section. So they're going to be learning how to, you know, use technology to benefit them. And we're going to incorporate, since so many children are becoming obese, or actually are obese in our society, we really want to stress the physical aspects of physical fitness, as well as the history of, you know, why do you need to be healthy? What do you need to eat? What is, and also how to budget your money. So even if you are in a low income area, you don't have to eat McDonald's every day, or you don't have to, you know, buy something good because it's, you know, it's cheap, but really budget your money so you're able to eat nutritiously, but still really good.
You can change your quality of life no matter where you emanate from.
Exactly.
That's really, really important.
It is.
In building your brand new business, and I keep emphasizing because the grand opening is coming up soon, so I want people to know brand new business. And believe me, you need to get in on the ground floor here, okay? In building that business, there is something that you want to share with the world. And so what is that? Is it your love for wellness? Is it your love for yoga? Is it your love for people being healthy? What is Kendra trying to share with the world?
Yeah, definitely that, you know, everything that happens in your life, you're in control. And so I think this is one of the main things that you learn through a regular yoga practice. You control everything that happens in that room with your body, with, you know, whatever else. If you get distracted, it's not because the other person, it's the other person's fault, it's your fault. You know, so it's one of those things about, to me, if we can bring more awareness to ourselves, and if we learn how to kind of love ourselves and how not to be judgmental for ourselves, then we'll learn how to not do it for others. And so I think in doing that, we kind of help humanity. And so my goal is much broader, and it's really altruistic. And
That's
you know,
okay. We
you know,
love altruistic goals.
but I think, you know, to me, I'm a humanist in a way. You know, and I'm raising 2 girls, and I want them to know that, you know, how you are in the world impacts, you know, how everything else is around you. And so you got to start with yourself. And so my goal is to share that opportunity for people to, you know, become well, you know, healthy, you know, and achieve their own goals, whatever they may be.
And that's great. That's great. So you're going to help them improve their lives, their wellness.
We say change your body, change your mind, change your life.
Oh, she's trying to steal my. You see how she's doing that? No shame at all.
Oh,
In fact, I looked on her website, and she has "In the Zone" on her website. She's stealing my mantra. I'm going to charge her money. I want you to know that. I'm mad at you.
I do have "In the Zone." That's right.
Brittney, your core audience, I mean, your target market for what you do, who are they? You know, who should be coming, knocking on the door of All in PR? Who should be emailing you saying, please help me, like I did? Because,
a great
not to
question.
digress, but if you look at our new website, that's a plug, Brittney had a vital hand in making sure that website was up, and also that the social media feed was there. And we went kicking and screaming. It wasn't easy for her, but she brought us into it. So who's your ideal target client?
That's a
Brittney?
great question. And the best thing about it is anyone, any business, any brand can truly benefit from our services. Because the best thing is we're telling a story. So everyone has a story. So you just have to find, you know, that person like us who can help you convey your story and really sell the message that you're trying to get across to a broad audience. Like, that's how you create awareness. That's how you create loyalty. And then with trends going the way they are now, loyalty is very important. So, yes.
And so there's a phrase that we always use called branding.
Yes, branding, that's what we do.
Yeah, and so branding in our mind, old school again, is really important. But tell us what branding is, and is it still a pertinent criteria for one being in business?
Yes, I mean, branding is truly important. It's pretty much creating awareness for your specific company. So it's taking your brand and making sure that your message is consistent over every platform. So that's what our goal is, to keep your image as well as your product and your brand all saying the same thing at the same time, and really connecting with your core audience. So whoever you're trying to speak to, we do the research to make sure that we're telling them the right message.
And that message is important because in my experience, the first contact that the public has with a company says a lot. It's and so
You never get a second first impression.
So that's what you do for companies, right?
Yes.
Great. And now with your company, I mean, seldom do we have the opportunity to get in on the ground floor of something that we know is going to be big, right? So Brittney's going to make sure that everybody knows about you, and you're going to make sure that everybody's healthy. I want you to give us a little bit more about your dream.
Yeah.
You're going to have a studio. You said you're going to have a juice bar in it.
We have this
take a couple
first
minutes and tell
studio
us.
is actually going to be one of the biggest in Maryland, in Prince George's County. It's going to be 1,700 square feet of just the yoga room, but a 4,500 square foot facility. It's in a historic building, beautiful place where it's walkable, as you know, in Riverdale Park, and just a beautiful, right outside of the Riverdale Mark train station.
Oh,
and
great.
so I'm trying to open up a full-scale wellness facility. It's a yoga studio, but it's a wellness facility first. And so our goal, not just to stop there, is we want to open up multiple studios throughout Maryland, throughout, you know, the United States, and actually eventually move overseas.
And so these two young entrepreneurs let you know how important family is to believing in your dream and helping you get started. Brittney, because of her relationship with her dad, who has relationships of his own with highly visible athletes, has been able to get her business up and going based upon family. Isn't it great when family believes in what you're doing and that facilitates the dream you're trying to do?
It totally makes a difference.
Great.
Having that support system is truly a blessing. It's amazing. Because you definitely want to give up sometimes, but with them right there cheering you on, you're like, oh, why would I ever want to give up? I love this, and I'm so passionate about what I do, so it definitely is great to have them cheering for me.
Well, hey, I love both of these ladies. They are my proteges, if you want to be.
Definitely.
And we'll make sure that we keep this thing going. The next time you see them, they're going to be not young entrepreneurs. They'll just be seasoned entrepreneurs, and they'll be doing well. But you can make sure that your business does well by contacting Brittney for the PR, and you can make sure that your body and your mind are doing well by contacting Kendra, and you can make sure that your finances are doing well by talking to us. Not a problem, you know, all in one. Hey, I want to thank you two ladies for spending time with me. Brittney, thank you
so
very
much
much.
for having me.
Kendra, thank you very
so
much,
much.
and good luck.
Thank
and I'll
you.
be in the hot box with
Yes,
you,
definitely.
you know. And you, see you next week. Please come, but get in contact with these two ladies. It may change your life. It will definitely change your business. Have a good evening, and we'll see you soon.